All right, we're going to look at example E from Learning Objective 5 from Chapter 10. And so just to note, I mentioned in the previous PowerPoint for Objective 3 from Chapter 10 that, that the payroll taxes on gross earnings are levied on both the employer and the employees, referring to FICA, the Social Security tax, and Medicare tax. So you'll notice that in Objective 3, we were dealing with the employee, their Social Security tax and Medicare tax. We weren't dealing with the portion for the employer. So that's what we're dealing with now in Learning Objective 5 is the employer side. Now, notice that the rates given in Learning Objective 5, you'll notice that the Social Security rate is 12.4%. And this is double the amount mentioned in the slide in Learning Objective 3. This is because the employer has to figure the employee and the employer side. They both have to be 6.2%. And so they're covering for both the employee and the employer because they're withholding it from the employee's paycheck and they're covering, so they have to cover both of their portions. So when they send in the Form 941, which is what we're dealing with here in this problem, we have to figure out both the employee and the employer side. Okay, so that's why it's doubled. And also Medicare tax back in Objective 3 was 1.45%. And now we're dealing with that doubled, 2.9% for Medicare. So let's look at this example. Notice also one other thing to notice that is that they mentioned that no employee earned more than $117,000. And in the learning objective in the video that we used, I had discussed in that bonus example that which I called example D, that the threshold was 97,500. So that's because that's what we're using in the homework. In the textbook, they mentioned 117,000. It's because the threshold changes, and I'm just dealing with a different. I just want to mention 97,000. It doesn't really apply to this problem. Only that the entire portion will, for both Social Security and Medicare, will be, and it really only affects Social Security when it comes down to it, that threshold of 97,500. But we don't have to worry about that threshold like we did in example D in the previous video. Okay, so I'll just change this number to 97,500, but really doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, so let's discuss this problem. So we have 2 million, well, this number right here, $2,132,684.27 of total wages. Those are on the total gross incomes. And as we remember, for Social Security and Medicare, we want to look at gross wages. So the gross wages is 2,132,684.27. And so all of that portion, since no one made over it, I'll just change the number to 97,500. No one made over that amount. This is the total for all the employees. So adding them all up is this 2 million number. And so I'm going to write it twice because we have to figure out how much the employer is going to be sending off in the Form 941. And so we have to multiply for Social Security 12.4% and Medicare at 2.9%. And so what we end up determining is for the Social Security portion is 264,452.85. And for Medicare, we have 61,847.84. Okay, so if we add these two together to determine the total we would have 326,369 cents. That is the total Social Security and Medicare that is being paid for both the employee and the employers at this what is this, Yeager Manufacturing, or Jaeger Manufacturing. So we also have the company withheld a portion, this portion right here, for federal income tax. So some of it's already been paid. So income tax withheld, we have 372,486.20. So some of it are not paid, but withheld from the employee's taxes has to be sent off. So we need to determine the total of these two values, which comes out to $698,786.89. So as you may be aware from you know, just the employee, like if you're an employee, you get your pay stub, and you notice that on your pay stub, you know, you have Social Security taken out, Medicare taken out, and then other withheld from your paycheck. So this is like the other withholding. You're withholding that would be paying possibly state and federal if you have state tax. So and this would be the the Medicare and Social Security, and this is other withheld from your paycheck. And so this would be the total taken out of the paycheck. But we have mentioned at the very bottom of the problem, if during the quarter Jaeger had deposited $680,000 towards its taxes due, so they've already put away amount to cover this, and how much would be required to send in with its first quarter form. So they need to come up with an additional amount because they only saved up $980,000 to send off essentially to the IRS. But so we need to figure out how much more to cover the total amount that we're looking for. So the balance that would be needed is this difference, $18,786.89. So that would be the amount that would be sent to in the form 941. So the additional amount. So which was the question for this problem. All right, so this is the process that you'll be using in order to determine how much would be sent out on a Form 941 based on given information or problem like this. Let me know if you have any concerns, and I'll be more than happy to assist.